Do you love playing Destiny so much but your friends don't anymore because it is boring and they're playing other games, and you don't really want to LFG because that experience is horrible, but you're a solo player, so you just end up sitting in orbit for like 20 minutes before you get off of the game because you don't know what to do, but you love the game so much that you want to go in and play it anyways? If so, I think I have the video for you. So if you find at least one thing that you think is cool or you want to try or you didn't know about, please comment down below, and if you could subscribe, that would be even better. So let's get right into it. Let's not take up more of your time, okay? Also, I'm not going to tell you to bounty prep for the next season or get all 3 of your characters to the power cap, because all these are things that people have already done or they just don't want to do because there's no point. Okay, now that being said, let's get started. By the way, yes, all these things I do season to season when I get bored, so trust me, I'm not making this up. So first starters, because this has been in the game for a while now, one thing that you can do that really helps you kill time is getting all the weapon patterns and all the catalysts done. And the reason why I say this, because I have mentioned this before in other videos, is because if you get all the weapon catalysts in the game for the exotics, what's going to happen is if someone randomly tells you on a Tuesday morning that whatever weapon is broken, if you have the catalyst and it one-shots bosses, if you have it done, you're chilling. And if not, you have to go get the catalyst, much less go finish it. It's going to take a while. It doesn't hurt to have, and a lot of weapons are even cooler and a lot better, and you can actually have them in classes because of that. Like Malfeasance, for example, you have the catalyst, you have Vorpal weapon. That's amazing for that weapon. And all the weapon patterns as well. You go to Light GG and you can see what guard rolls what weapons have. Some are free, some are DLC, and you know, it doesn't hurt to collect because it gives you something to do in the meantime. Something that is a little secondary, so I'm kind of gonna count it as a part 2 or a second thing that you can do, is actually going onto Europa and the Puka Pawn and getting every single fragment for your characters on Stasis and Strand, because some of these you have to buy with Glimmer, some with Shards, some by doing a memory aspect thing, some you have to actually just get by getting meditation strands and thingies. So how you get them really depends and really fluctuates, but it helps you kill time. They're still very strong and very fun, and you can have a lot of more build capabilities if you actually sit down and play with these. At number 3, something that a lot of people seem to look over for whatever reason that I really don't understand, is the vault and the kiosk. So for example, a lot of people say that they have all the exotics in the game and stuff like that, which I completely agree. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to have them all, especially if you've been playing for a minute. But something that I do in that instance is I go to the kiosk, make sure you have every single exotic that you can buy. Also, there's a lot of weapons that are only 1600 that you can still get that are really good, and some that are 1800 and something that you can still infuse and are really good as well. They don't hurt, and there's a lot of ornaments here too. Additionally, go to your vault and clean it. And now if you've done that before, something else that you can also do is just make sure that you masterwork everything that you consider a god roll. The reason why is because it doesn't hurt to have, and if you're god roll farming or hunting and you have like GG with you, you can see what perks and what rolls you can get and from where, some free, some DLC, and you're gonna have fun doing this alone, because if there's ever a point and you're no more career when you are doing solo content, you have really good weapons. And if you're crazy enough to 2-man or 3-man raid or solo raid encounters, you need the best weapons you can get. And it doesn't hurt if you already have them, because if you get that itch to do something that's extremely endgame, even if it's like a master raid and you don't have a specific weapon, you're gonna be thinking, damn dude, I really want that weapon because it's really good. Oh well, I'll get it later, and then later never comes. This is kind of like another 2-parter, but something that I would say is really cool that you can do, because I do it all the time and I genuinely have fun doing it, is if you go to the dungeons, you know what you can do with a dungeon? You can solo all 7 dungeons. You know what you can also do if you're a more hardcore player? Solo flawless every dungeon. You have to understand, you get rewards when you do this, okay? If you go to the actual challenges page next to the triumphs and whatnot and all the seals for raids and dungeons and activities, you can see that there are things that you can do that will give you sparrows, some will give you titles, some will give you shaders, and so on and so forth. So a lot of these activities, they will flat out tell you, if you do this, this is the reward that you are going to get. It is very cool, it is very quick, it is very easy, and a lot of these you can do solo, which is the best part. On the topic of dungeons, something else that you can really do that I do often, and I only do this because I have 3 characters, okay? Go to Ada, pick up Synthwee bounties, go to a dungeon, complete it solo or with people, it doesn't matter, and after you do that, you will be able to unlock a ornament for any armor piece that you already have. And the reason why I mention this is because since I have 3 characters, and maybe you do too, or maybe you even have 2 characters, you want as much customization as you want, because it doesn't matter if it's from raid, dungeons, activities, exploration, or anything. There's a lot of armor sets in the game that if you match them with other ones, they look amazing. That combination is something that really makes the game fun, because people look at you, and that's in part what motivates a lot of people, like seeing the different armor. I remember when the Garden of Salvation armor came out, everyone wanted it and no one knew how to get it until you did a little bit of research and you saw, oh, you get it in that raid specifically. And then people went and did the raid. Some people did that raid solely for the armor. I know I did. So doing this just lets you have more customization on your character, because it also doesn't take that much, and you have to understand that there is a limit as to how many you can have per season, so that's another thing. And speaking on that same topic of raids and dungeons, go get every single seal that there is in the game. Why not? Yes, some you need people to do them and finish them, like the raid ones, for example. But just go do them. Why not? You might be thinking, no, because I'm never going to use them, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. A lot of these you can do solo, like all of the dungeon ones you can do solo for the most part, or at the low cost of 3 players, you and 2 more. And other ones you can actually do completely solo. So I would really recommend you do these, because although you might be thinking it's a waste of time, it is really cool to display these. And finally, one more thing that is optional as hell, and I do not expect you to do it at all, and that is completely okay, is leveling up after level 100. Every 5 levels after level 101, you get a guaranteed bright dust engram. So level 101, 106, 111, 116, 121, 126, you get the point. Every 5 levels after 101, you get a free guaranteed engram from the Eververse store. So some of these have very jank cosmetics that you're never going to use and you're going to dismantle immediately, and some are actually decent. Although the engrams tell you that you can get like 10 different exotic ornaments, you can get a lot more. Trust me, I have gotten exotic ornaments that are not even listed. They also give you a lot of bright dust, and on that same topic of bright dust, finish the season pass so that you can go and get all the bright dust you can. Go do the seasonal challenges so that you can get an extra 4,000 bright dust at the end. And not only that, but also go to the store and go to the first and the bright dust tab, both of them, and they will have things that you can buy for bright dust to make your character look cooler, from weapon ornaments to ship to ghosts to sparrows to emotes, and you get the point. Okay, of all the things that I mentioned, I promise you I do all these all the time because I genuinely have fun doing them, because luckily for me, I'm in a position where I play with you guys, so I don't really get bored, although I am a solo player. But for the people that don't really have that experience, or for the people that really don't have people to play with often and are mainly solo players and they just sit in orbit, hopefully one of these things interests you and you're actually able to have fun in the game, even if it's only for an extra hour. So that being said, let me know if you found something helpful. Subscribe if you don't mind, and I will catch you boys later. Peace out, everyone. Have a good one.